Hi, welcome to the Z Files, Zooming with Ellie. And there will be other shows where it'll be Zooming with Ellie and whoever her guests will be. Today is Friday, June 4th, 2021. Today I wanted to talk about something that's so basic, I think most people have forgotten about it. I call it the common sense factor. That means when we look at the way the world is today, there is the way things should be done because they're good old fashioned common sense, such as electing a president. Okay. You elect a president based on his background, experience, and his ability to run a country. Okay. There are things in your life, my life, that just follow what should be the norm, the common sense factor. It's just plain old, good old fashioned common sense. So, why don't we follow common sense? The first reason is our programming. As you know, I believe we live in a simulation where everything that we do is programmed. And the programming takes us to part two, which are our emotions. We are an emotionally based algorithm. What we do gets processed, they say, by the soul first, and then the mind, and then the emotions. Okay. And what we're doing in that time is we are trying to figure out this is the right path. This is the correct path. This is what we know is best for us, those we love and care about. And then why are we doing the wrong thing? For example, I read a man the other day and he stole some money. He wound up in jail for a while. He had come to me before he went to jail, and I told him, yes, he's going to go away. It wouldn't be that bad, that long, and to see me when he got out. So that's exactly what happened. Now, he knew when he stole from a store that it was the wrong thing to do. I mean, yes, he needed the money or whatever was going on with him. He was also young in his 20s, but that was the thing to do. And yet, something in him, some emotional impulse, okay, like we're basic reptilians or something, some emotional impulse said, rob the store, take a chance, maybe you won't get caught, don't shoot anybody. And that's what you're supposed to do. All the while, he knew what the right thing is to do. We all know the right thing to do. It's built into our intelligence, even if you're challenged in that department, genetically, we know the right thing to do, the right way to go, and yet we play all our games based on our emotions, and they often take us in the wrong direction. Some people tell me before they make a decision, they know the right way to go, they know the answer, the correct thing to do, but they have to meditate on it. Like, I think I'm going to meditate as to whether or not I should move to California. Why? Why? You weigh the pros, you weigh the cons. It goes to job, money, family, friends, climate change. Moving to California is not the best option, but we're not here to talk about that today. And but do you really have to meditate on it? Some people sleep on it. They know the right answer and they wake up in the morning with some feeling of confirmation. If you need to meditate on it, if you don't ask 1,000 people the right thing to do, just think about it. You're an intelligent person, I assume, with all their wits about them. Not when you're stoned, not when you're high, not when you're influenced by other people saying, no, go join the army. And you're like, I don't think I should join the army because I don't think it's a good idea. Then don't join the army. Don't do things that make no sense. I mean, follow your common sense. A lot of people made mistakes because they said that their spirit guides or this one or that one or channel things or whatever, or psychics told them this is what they're supposed to do. Maybe the psychics were right, maybe the psychologists were right, but inside each of us is the ability to have common sense. I know it's right. Uh, there's so many things going on in the world right now. There's crazy stuff everywhere you look. Common sense says, be careful what you do at all times and always be prepared. Common sense says that there are certain places that women should not be alone, such as the subways in New York and things like that, because there's murder and mayhem. It's just common sense. Don't live in an area that's prone to wildfires or other disasters, natural disasters. Don't do it. They're just, what people do when they make those decisions is they basically tell me, well, I know what the right thing is for me to do, but I just said I'm going to give it a shot and hope for the best. All right, but when the other shoe drops, remember, write down your common sense answer, decide based on every element in your life that would affect that decision, such as the biggest one people are asking me now is about relationships. Okay, you meet a person, it could be straight, gay, whatever. You meet somebody, and your common sense is telling you this person's not so good for you. They have too many emotional problems. Okay, they have too much going on. They may owe a lot of money. They may wind up doing this and that. You have to think about it. You don't ask 1,000 people their opinions. Okay, you just think about it and you say, but I'm really attracted to so and so, and I really think that we could be good together. If you're just looking for the affair, the fling, the hookup, or whatever, and you're comfortable with that, then common sense says go do it with protection, and there you go. Okay. But if you're wanting a serious relationship with somebody, something that is going to last at least a decade, if we're here that long, but at least a decade, then you have to stop and let common sense take over and say, these are the things that are wrong with this person. And I can't allow them to come into my life because they're either going to burn through my emotions, burn through my assets, burn through everything, maybe be a little detrimental to my family and my children. You have to use common sense. And I know people don't have the option to do that, but when you weigh the pros and the cons, it really is the way to go. Common sense rules. There's no question about it. No matter where you take it, how you take it, common sense always is the way to go. So you can ask others, you can deal with your emotions like, well, I don't want to be lonely in this relation. I want a relationship because I don't want to be alone. I don't want to be lonely. I want somebody in my life. All the while, your common sense is telling you this is the wrong person. Okay. Common sense now also goes to decisions about school because now we're in June and decisions are coming up, as to what schools you should go to, where you should go. Life is about challenges. If you haven't figured that out, then your common sense radar may be a little bit off. But life is about one challenge after the other. We live in a physical reality, which makes it electromagnetic, which grounds us here into physical bodies, which makes us in duality or bipolar because it's poles, north, south, always trying to ground and do the right thing. It's very hard now. Life is so challenged and challenging that every day you wake up, you turn on the TV or go to your internet or wherever you get your news source from, and you look to see, well, what's happened? Okay, what are the current challenges that the world is facing now? So that said, you really need to go back to the common sense factor when you make a decision, not a little one, a decision, because your programming already knows what's right for you. And if you worry that maybe your parents will say, no, don't do that. Don't listen to Ellie. Don't listen to the psychics. Don't listen to don't worry about that. Just make a decision. Should you take an apartment now? You're a student who graduated college, okay, whatever age you are. Should you go out on your own? Well, then you look at the finances. Maybe common sense tells you get a job and work at it for a while. Everything is contingent on everything else in your life. Okay. So the decision you're thinking about today, the common sense decision, is here, it's your circle, and then it ripples out into other situations that affect you today and will affect you in the future. Uh, Take your time. Everything is challenged now, especially since COVID. Anxiety, panic disorders, depression, suicides up, and there are hotlines for that. But take your time, make your decisions carefully, and always go with the common sense factor. Even when you're electing an official, which official is the one who's going to help? And if your answer is what my answer generally comes back as, none of them are going to resolve the issues, they're all full of BS and conspiracies, then you may decide you don't want to vote. Or you may say, well, common sense says this guy will, or woman will do the best job that he or she can. It's not easy. It really isn't easy. And the more you're emotionally stressed and the more you're looking for ways to balance that emotional stress with substance abuse, the more your judgment and your common sense is going to be clouded. So on that note, I just want to say thank you for listening, and I will be back with the Z Files tomorrow. Thank you.